Hello, my name is Seba. In this presentation, I will talk about a well-known cyber threat group called APT92, also known as Cozy Bear. They are believed to be linked to the Russian government and have targeted many governments and companies. Cozy Bear is dangerous because they are very stealthy. They often use phishing emails, trusted Windows programs, and tools like PowerShell to stay hidden inside systems. They they also use common ports like 443 to blend in with normal internet traffic, and some of their techniques are phishing to get in, PowerShell scripting to run commands, and exfiltration over C2 channels. Now I will show you how I use Splunk to detect and analyze their activities. So now I will start with the first lab, the initial compromise. In this lab, we look at the first step of the Cozy Bear attack, how they get into the system. So the attacker sends a fake file that looks like a Word document, but it is actually a dangerous program. This tricks users by something called RTLO, right to left override, which hides the real file type. So whenever the user clicks the file, it runs a reserve shell and connects to a command and control server using wired port, for example 123. After that, the attacker uses CMD and PowerShell to control the machine. So in Splunk, we search for this activity using process creation and network connection logs. I will show you a small example. So now I'll explain this query. The index with stars, it tells to look everywhere in the data, search in all indexes, and the event code 1, it's the event ID 1 for the process creation. It's when a new program or command starts. And the image with 2 stars, this is the interesting part, which shows the path of the process that started, and find the ones that have a special hidden characters. As I said, that hidden character is called RTLO, right to left override. In Unicode, it makes the file name display backwards. I will show you a small example here. So if the file looks like this with this extension, the right to left override can make it looks like this with the new extension. So this search helps find fake looking file used in phishing attack. Here I use the Splunk with the previous with this query, and when I expand the event, I found the full path that asked in this question. Next lab, we are looking at the next step of the Cozy Bear attack, which is data collection and exfiltration. Now, after the attacker gets access through a reserve shell, they quickly run PowerShell commands to search the victim computer for important files, like for example document or media. They use simple commands like drr, ls, or get shelled item to find what they want. Then they collect these files and compress them into a zip file. So in this case, something like archive.zip or draft. This step is called staging. After this step, the attacker sends the stolen data out using the same command and control connection they used to get in, usually over a non-standard port. In Splunk, we can detect this by looking at the event code 4103 and 4104, which is for the PowerShell activity, and event code 11. This is for the file creation, for example the .zip files. I'll show you one example I solved. We applied this query to find a file that starts with the letter S, okay, and then whatever come with S, but it ends with .txt. So wait, if we read the query from the beginning, the index main means the search only in the index called main. This is where the logs are stored. Then the event code 4104 and 4103. These two event codes come from the PowerShell logging. They all mean either one of them. Whenever you get this result, apply it here and search, like only show logs where the text match, something like this. This is trying to find if the attacker accessed or searched for text file like secret file.txt using the PowerShell. Now with the third lab, the deploy stealth toolkit. In this lab, we look at how the APT deploys a stealthy toolkit and tries to gain a higher access on the victim's machine. The attacker uploads a fake image file that looks normal but has a hidden PowerShell script inside. Once the file is on the system, they use a trick called UAC bypass to run the script with a high privilege. To do this, they change a key in the Windows registry and use trusted Microsoft programs like Skellt.exe and Control.exe. Both tools are normally safe, so they help the attacker to avoid detection. The script then starts a new command and control, usually over port 443, which is commonly used for secure web traffic. This helps the attacker hide their communication inside normal looking traffic. And with Splunk, we look for file creation logs with event ID 11 to find the image, registry change with event IDs 12 and 13 to detect UAC bypass, and process creation logs event ID 1 to find program like control.exe, and network logs with event ID 3 to check the new C2 connection. These labs show how the APT use stealth, privilege escalation, and trusted tool to stay hidden and take full control of the file system. Now the next lab is establish and persistence. So now the attacker sets up a persistence, which is a way to stay on the victim system even after a report or log off. They do this in two ways. First, they create a fake Windows server. This server looks normal but actually runs a malicious executable from inside the system. It's added into the Windows registry under the image path key, which tells the system what file to run when the servers start. Second, they drop another malicious file into the Windows startup folder. This makes sure it runs automatically every time the user logs in. And to find this in Splunk, I search for three things. The event called 7045, this shows when a new Windows server is created. The event code 13 for registry change like the fake services file path, and event code 11 for new files added to the startup folder. So by combining these searches, I was able to track how the Cozy Bear sets up long-term access using trusted parts of the Windows system. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching.